we have a particle whose equation of motion is x equals to t times square root of 49 minus t squared. The first question is, for how long the particle will be moving? Obviously, t cannot be larger than 7, otherwise there will be a negative number under the square root sign. I think will break down. So t has to be smaller or equal to 7, which means 7 seconds is how long the particle moves. For part B, when the particle comes to rest. So it's asking for the time where v equals to 0, which is also differentiating the distance in regards to time. So we just differentiate x equals to t minus 49 minus t squared. So dx over dt equals to which equals to 49 minus t squared. Plus minus 2t squared so it equals to 49 minus 2t squared minus t squared. So for this equation, we only have to make sure that the numerator equals to 0. So we have to make sure that 49 minus 2t squared equal to 0. And to solve this equation, t would have to equal to 7 over root 2. So t equals to 7 root 2 is when the particle comes to a stop. Now, for the total distance the particle traveled, C, which is question C. So we have to find out how far the particle has traveled before it reaches this time, and then how much it has traveled by the time it's 7 seconds. Now to solve that, firstly we'll find out how far the particle has traveled when it reaches time t over root 2. So we substitute 7 over root 2 into the equation. X equals to 7 over root 2 times 49 minus 7 over root 2 equals to 7 times 49 minus which is 7 over root 2 times 7 over 2, which is 49 over 2. So the particle would have traveled 49 over 2 by the time it stops at 7 over square root 2. And if we see where the particle would be at the end, at the 7-second mark, we just substitute 7 into the equation, which hopefully would give us 0. So when the time is 7 seconds, the particle has returned to the origin. And when t is 0, when t equals to 0, x also equal to 0, which means that it starts off, the particle starts off at the origin. And then when the time reaches 7 over square root of 2, it has traveled to 49 over 2. And then by the time t reaches 7, by the time t reaches 7, it has traveled back to the origin, which means that the total distance traveled is 49 over 2 this way and 49 over 2 this way. And it makes the total distance traveled 49. I hope this answers your question.